Stephen and I have had some teachers asking how to do pivot tables on their own, so this is going to be a brief explanation of pivot tables along with a written document. Once you log into Data Director, you're going to click up here to get a menu, and you're going to click on the word Reports. I'm going to scroll to the bottom of the Report menu and click on Pivot Table Report. Once the pivot table report comes up, it'll give you different options. You want to use the student population from last year. I'm going to go ahead and look at all teachers, and I am going to look at language arts, how all students did at Sierra Middle School in language arts. The first data set needs to be 2 years ago, 2010, 2011, and I'm going to choose English Language Arts and the 2010, 2011 CST. The second data set will be last year, 2011, 2012, English Language Arts, CST English Language Arts. If I were to do math, I could just choose math right there, science, history. But like I said, I'm going to choose language arts this time. My data sets are in place. I'm going to click the word submit. Here's all my information about where all our students landed. This shows that 675 students have data from 2 years to compare. So how they did 1 year and then how they did the next year on the CST English Language Arts. It's about right because remember we have some students who move in without previous year scores, and then we have students who take the CMA and students who take the CAPA. So if we scroll down, right there you can see a visual of the pivot table. And a pivot table is designed 2012, last year's across the top, and 2011 is across the side. Remember, we set those when we did our data sets. And a pivot table is if you draw a line diagonally right through the middle, all the bubbles that lie on the diagonal are no movement. So 3 students were at far below basic, and they were far below basic last year. 31 students were at below basic, and they were at below basic again last year. 130 were basic coming in and basic at the end of the year. 132 were proficient, and then the next year they were also proficient, and 96 were advanced and advanced. This bubble, so everything on the diagonal shows no movement. This bubble right here says 68, and that means in 2011, 68 students were proficient, but in 2012, those 68 students ended up being advanced. 5 students were basic and ended up being advanced. And you see how it moves? You can click on that and actually see the 5 students at our school who came in at basic level in language arts and were advanced a year later. Those students right there. So any of these numbers, you could click on them to find the students. And that's basically how to do a pivot table. You can do a pivot table by period, by teacher, and then math, language arts, science, or history. Good luck. Let me know if you have any questions.